Alrighty, my friends, welcome back to Time Capsule, the show where we travel back in time to your favorite years in gaming and showcase awesome speedruns of games released in the same year. Tonight we are on 1996 games, and we are all set up for Super Mario 64, so please welcome It's Beeve.
Hey y'all, my name is It's Beeve. I'm going to be showcasing Super Mario 64, but I'm actually going to be doing a different category than your vanilla categories. So this is actually called a category extension, and it's actually called Nonstop 120. And Nonstop 120 actually refers to when Mario grabs a star, you know, when he does like that whole song, dance animation, he does the peace sign to the camera and then you jump out of the painting and all that.
Mm-hmm.
That gets all cut out. So essentially you just grab the star and you just keep going, and hence the name Nonstop.
Nice.
And you just keep going. So I'm going to be showcasing you for that for you guys today. And joining me today on commentary is Badronis. How you doing, Badronis?
Hello. Thank you very much for the introduction. I'm doing great. Super excited for Nonstop 120. Beeve's an absolute goat right here. He's going to kill it. I'm super excited to commentate this run. It's a category that I've been interested in quite a while, done a few runs myself. Beeve is definitely the expert here, but I similarly share his affection for this category and the kind of investigative effort that has gone into it and making it a much different category than it was just a couple of years ago. A lot of changes, a lot of new runners getting world records in it. It's a very exciting thing right now. So once again, I cannot recommend this run enough. If you've seen regular Mario 64 speedruns, because it's a very popular game in the overall speedrunning community, this will be something fresh. It's very, very new, constantly evolving, and there's some stuff in here that'll blow your mind if you haven't seen it before. So if you haven't seen it before, I really hope you stay because you're in for a treat.
All right, that sounds awesome.
Thank you, Badronis. Very nice of you to say that. So typically for when we start the run, we actually start on reset in the vanilla categories, but since it's nonstop and we're just going straight to the point, there's actually an intro skip, and I'm actually running on like a Game Shark code that gives you the nonstop code and intro skip all in one. So we can actually just like cut to the chase with file select, and we just hop right in, and that's it. So we're ready with that timer. We can count down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, good luck, Beeve.
Thank you. Here's the first trick that I'm not going to mess up. Lakitu skip. Saves about like 8 seconds, so you don't have to talk to the Lakitu.
Yeah, bravo.
That's good that I got that first try. So typically when you see like top 120 runners doing 120 star, you actually see them do something called LBLJ, lobby backwards long jump. And we actually don't do that in this category. It barely saves time. And doing, wait a second. Doing LBLJ like barely saves time. So, and it's a headache. So we don't typically try to do it in runs. We just kind of want to get the run going.
Oh, and that was super nice. I just want to cut you off right there because you're used to it. But if you haven't seen that before, that is going from the bottom clip star, the first star done in all 120, 70, and 69 LBLJ speedruns, followed into that super cool movement, gaining speed on the white slope to head up into the wall kick section to make it to the warp for the Bomb King. That's the first star where you can see there is just no cutscene at all. You fly right through it. That's what the Game Shark code does. Fun fact, the makers of Banjo-Kazooie of Rare, they got to see a demo of Mario 64, and they're like, why does it take you out of the course every time? You know, they thought it was kind of disruptive to the experience, and that's kind of what influenced their decision to make Banjo-Kazooie a game where you do play more freeform, you collect jiggies, and you stay in the stage. And then later on, people went back and did this in Mario 64, so it's gone full circle here, and people are speedrunning it.
I actually didn't know that. So do you want to explain what's going to happen here, Badronis?
Yeah, Womp's Fortress, early stage in the run as well. We have to get, I mean, we're getting all 7 stars from each stage, but BOB, we couldn't get all the stages because we need the wing cap, which we'll retrieve later. This one, we're getting cannonless. Lots to talk about that trick, but ledge grabbing into the star there, you can kind of see that it is a ledge grab. We're in an RTA, you might, a vanilla run, you might not notice that's what it is. Now coming around to getting the blue coins, he's collecting the 100 coins while getting lots of other stars in the stage here. This is the first It's time we're going into Womps. We will actually come into Womps a second time to get 2 final stars, because defeating the Womp King spawns the fortress, and we will use the fortress for a final star, which we'll see in just a minute here. But really good movement here so far. There's a lot of things that can go wrong in Womps, especially kind of around that moving wooden plank and that cycle where you have to catch it by getting Canalus first try. If you don't get Canalus, super precise trick, you won't be able to catch that cycle. It just loses a little bit of time, but Beeve is doing really well right now. And there's a few other routes that you can do, but this is pretty similar to regular 120 star at this point. He's going to be getting the remainder of the red coins here and getting up to 100. And just like that, we are done with the first trip to Womps. Well, after he collects this box and then the 8-coin ring just in front of him.
Yeah, so unfortunately, when you're doing this route, you can't really miss a single coin, but I actually ended up missing a coin, so I had to get that backup box. So it's not a big time loss to get it. So making the cycle is like the big part of it. So we actually take an intentional death there to warp back into the stage because we have to activate the tower star, which goes on star number 2.
Now, casually, you might remember taking the owl to the owl's cage. If you watch speedruns, you might have remembered Owless, the trick where we wall kick into the owl's cage. But here's a mind-blowing moment for y'all. You long jump straight from the fortress into the cage, into a stage exit, and that is it for Womps. So I love that piece of movement.
Yeah, movement is really cool. It's been around since like the beginning of Nonstop 120 and 70 star in general. So really cool.
Was the movement a challenge for you to get the hang of, Beeve?
When I first picked up the category, definitely, yeah. It was definitely awkward because we're so used to like doing like the real Owless way of doing it. So doing it with that movement is definitely kind of weird because you have like a specific camera you have to do and stuff.
Okay, right on.
Yeah, there's a lot of things in Nonstop 120 that are analogs to regular 120 star, but you know, different in slight ways. Oh, okay, this is a little bit of an issue. You know, you have to get Mario to clip through a couple polygons in the ship's surface here. But now we'll do what is kind of the intended method, is to lure out the eel from the ship's window. Oh, he actually wasn't close enough to trigger him the first time.
Close enough to the eel. So yeah, you're supposed to clip through the ship there, and you're supposed to like just bypass all of this. But here I missed the window you're supposed to clip through, and I have to swim all the way to the top. There's no backup star you can do. Normally you have to do like chest star in vanilla 120, but we're getting it at the end, and it's not really going to fix anything. So kind of have to like take the time loss there, unfortunately, but no big deal.
Yeah, really not a big deal here. This star is the same as you would see in a vanilla 120 star run, because once you go into this ship, there's actually no way out apart from getting that star. And because we're in Nonstop, that is not a way out either. We have to stage exit and go back in, which is just as well, because on star number 2, you'll spawn the ship and everything. But we're actually going to take a detour and go to the wing cap, which spawns at 10 coins. You may notice that every time you stage exit, you go back to the carpet. We're going to be doing that a lot, which means it actually doesn't really matter a lot of the order, because almost every stage that you don't die in, well, every stage, unless you die on purpose, you will stop and start on the carpet. So you can really have a lot of flexibility in the ways that you approach the routing, and a lot of different Nonstop 120 runners will have routed it in their own unique ways.
Yeah, so here you're really supposed to go to like Aquarium, which is to the right of JRB, but we don't do that till like the very end of the run, because that's when it's most convenient for us to do it.
And just because it's slow and pretty easy.
Yeah, it's not too bad of a star. So we combine that with the slide star too. So we don't see slide until the very end of the run.
All right, so once again, coming into JRB, we're going to do this stage as 100 coin now. Once you did the first trip, JRB, it's the second trip. Jolly Roger Bay, this is. And coming down here to the clam, we're going to take a little bit of a detour from the regular 120 route here to get the eel and jetstream stars, which he is going to wander over here and lure the eel out. And then from there, we'll swim down into the jetstream, which you're intended to get a metal cap for, but Mario can swim fast enough to move against the jet current.
Yep. And you notice that I'm doing like a lot of like awkward cameras, and that's definitely for a reason. You want to explain why, Bidronis?
Yeah, the N64 is not a super powerful console. It lags quite a bit, especially in these water stages. Nintendo didn't care too much about it, but anywhere there's a lot of polygons on the screen at once, the game will slow down to render them, and especially when you're swimming, that can throw off your timing. So we go through lag reductions to save the time that would otherwise be spent lagging the game to render. So all of it is very intentional. Now here we have another really cool piece of movement here. Blasted the stone pillar star after getting the red coins. Maybe I'll give Beeve a moment of silence here to line this one up. It's going to be a double long jump wall kick. Oh, just didn't get the angle.
Didn't get the angle. That's unfortunate. I'm going to go back and try it again. If I mess it up again, I'll take the cannon.
Yeah, we have the pink bob-omb by one of the red coins, but it takes about 10 seconds to open a cannon. So that method is a much more efficient. If you can get the second time, that looks good.
There we go.
Well done. Nice job, Beeve.
Thank you. Yeah, that trick is really, really hard. Back in I think 2020, there was a strat called JRB Cannonless, and it involved like jumping off the ship and grabbing the star just like that, but all in one go. And it literally only saves like, I think 1 second or 2 seconds or something, but it's like some of the most difficult movement in the entire game, and it's just to save like 1 to 2 seconds. So like a lot of runners end up opting to go for like the craziest stuff just to save a few frames and seconds. So this game goes very in depth with the movement.
Well, since you brought it up, any chance of seeing Sax walk in Nonstop 120?
Probably not.
No.
What Bidronis is talking about is a trick called frame walk, where you go up that pillar that's near the star that I grabbed to the long jump to off the ship, and you're supposed to tap the control stick from neutral to a certain direction every, like, I think it's 6 or 7 frames, and it's very difficult, but it ends up saving like 6 to 7 seconds in the vanilla run. So it's crazy how much time it saves.
All right, Dark World Reds, this will be pretty much like the vanilla star. We can kind of remark on how far we've come in only a few minutes here. We're already 17 stars deep and in the first Bowser stage. Normal 120 star takes, at a very top level, you'll do LBLJ first, but it takes about 23 minutes to get out of lobby, which is finished by completing Bob-omb Battlefield. Here, this will be, much less, somewhere in the realm of like 15 minutes.
Yep. That's like the standard cycle you want to make. A lot of people end up going for that one. It's called Shigeru cycle, named after the Japanese runner back in the day who kind of coined the term when they were kind of coming up with routes in this game. So that one goes to Shigeru.
Not Miyamoto, but a different Shigeru.
Yeah, different Shigeru. All right, here, Bowser kind of just grabbed his tail and throw him to the bomb. I actually switched to a different controller for Bowser throws because the N64 stick's like super fragile, and I don't want to wear it out as much, so I actually switched to a Hori Pad Mini, which has a GameCube style stick on it. And right there, keys also act the same way as stars, so you just quit out of the level, and then we're off to B.O.B. to clean it up.
Yeah, B.O.B. here. The second trip is going to be involving racing Koopa the Quick while collecting the 100 coin star and the remainder of the stars in this stage. First, we'll open the cannon. This star has actually quite a bit of difficult movement here. The first time we will use the wing cap since we've unlocked it. And there's a couple tricky flying sections that we'll have to navigate here, so
yeah,
we'll let B focus a little bit for it.
I would say this is probably like the hardest part of the run. One of them at least. Very difficult section.
Nice job breaking the small box on the large one. And here we go, grabbing the wing cap. Now, in Vanilla 120 Star, you get the shell, but the Koopa does not spawn until you race Koopa the Quick, so we are doing this barefoot. Oh, that's a cheeky dodge there. All right. Beautiful triple jump. He needs to fly up to this platform here, and he just makes it. That is the hardest part of the stage.
Yeah, that's a
Second
very
flight.
hard hard to get momentum for that, so I'm glad I got it.
Well done.
Yeah. Huge applause for Beeve. First try. One of the most difficult strats in the Nonstop 120 route. And more flying here to collect the coins. There's actually a bit of a different way we collect the coins, because in Vanilla 120 star, you don't want to collect all 5 secret coins. Those are the middle coins of each coin ring. And after you collect all 5, they will spawn one of the stars. That loses time in 120 star Vanilla, but in Nonstop, we want that coin. So we've flown a little, or we're going to shoot out the cannon a little bit differently to collect it.
Yeah, so here we activate the secret star. And it's right down there, along with all the other stars we're going to collect. Here I'm going to collect a few more, and then we're going to go talk to Quick.
Yep.
Grab his star, and then we also forgot to mention that every time we grab a star, like with a wing cap or like with any cap, the music actually cuts out. So it's kind of just silent right now.
And you lose your cap. Maybe more
and you lose
important
your
to the
cap
gameplay. You know, I was watching Bismuth's 16-star explained video about Suiji's run, and I didn't know why, but apparently the cap music and the stage background music play on like 2 separate levels, and then the star cutscene music replaces the stage background music. So once that's gone, then there's suddenly no more music left.
Yep. So we round around these poles 3 times to activate the 5 coin rings, and I'm getting like extremely good RNG. This is like the best RNG I've seen in a while.
Yeah, doesn't look super remarkable, but you can spend quite a lot of time chasing down stray coins here. Last pull wasn't too great, but overall, very, very good BOB.
Yeah, not bad. Right. Making sure I grabbed all the stars, because sometimes I forget to grab the the secret star and I just exit out without grabbing it. So yeah, you're supposed to have 23 when you enter CCM. So here, CCM, we actually enter 3 different times. It's actually the stage we enter the most out of all the stages, because we have to activate star number 2, and then we have to activate star number 5. So there's 2 different like kind of star selections you have to pick. Whereas in some stages you can just do it all in one go.
Yeah, I believe all the stages so far we've done 2 trips. Once we get to basement, you'll see some more 1-trip stages, followed by dying, because basement is the farthest from lobby and you can die very easily there, so it saves some time in castle movement. And there's a death right there. So lives become a bit of a question in Nonstop 120 star. In regular, actually, when you have the star cutscene after you leave the stage, you get a 1-up for every 50 coins you collect. So by the end of a vanilla 120 star run, you actually have about 40 lives. But in Nonstop 120 star, you're not so lucky. You got to really make those lives count, and you can learn backup 1-ups to get if you're running low. This is called the Atom Pass slide skip. Touching a spot on the slide which is necessary for the penguin to not call you a cheater when you finish the race, even though you definitely cheated, but he'll actually rubber band to catch up with you, and all is forgiven because he cheated just as much as you did.
Yeah, the rubber banding makes him cheat too. Don't forget
There he
that
is.
penguin. Yeah, apparently if you're like, you can talk to the penguin and then you can jump down the slide like I did for the first star, but if you are in the air for like 3 seconds or more or something, the penguin just thinks you're a cheater automatically.
Yep.
But with Atom Pass, we're barely in the air for like 2 seconds, so he ends up not calling you a cheater.
Alright. Now this here, turning little Poco to his mama, little Tuxie. This is pretty fun. Going on a scenic route here, sliding through some red coins by the snowman's head and toward the ski lift. Oh! He's a slippery fella.
Yeah.
Very nice. And the Z drop to save a bit more time.
Yep.
Didn't look dangerous at all.
It's actually not too bad. Like the normal strat for penguin, you can like, I feel like anyone can do it. It's kind of like a party trick, as we like to say in the community.
Oh, okay.
It's not too bad. Literally, all you have to do is hold up, and then you can just bring the penguin to your mom. And that's like all you need to do. But here, it's a little more intricate. It's a little trickier.
Just don't tell them at the party.
Yes, exactly. Don't tell them it's easy. Right here,
Actually,
collect the blue coins.
Distinctly remember trying to speedrun this for the first time. It took me longer than I like to admit to figure out actually just how to hold up.
Listen, I am impressed by both of you for even knowing how to run this game. I find the movement in Mario 64 really difficult, so, you know, y'all are killing it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, third and final
Here we
trip.
enter the final time for the snowman's body, or whatever the star is called.
Snowman's lost his head.
Yeah, that's it.
Sadly, there's really not much else you could do with this other than if you wanted to save star 6, wall kicks will work. But since it was by the 100 coin, or where we finished the 100 coin star, it didn't really make sense to do that here. So it's just waiting on the snowball. One of the very few moments of actual downtime we'll have in this run. Because as the category name implies, it is nonstop. All right, 30 stars. Time to go to basement.
Yep. Lobby is basically like 98% complete. We still got aquarium and slide to do, but we do that towards the end of the run. So here we actually, instead of going to SSL, we're going to go to Vanish Cap. So we're going to do Vanish Cap because when we go to DDD, we actually collect all the stars in DDD, clean up Fire Sea, Bowser in the Fire Sea, the Bowser stage, and then we do basement right after. So the reason why we do that is because when we exit LOL, and we have 50 stars, it'll spawn the second MIPS. The first MIPS spawns at 15 stars. Or, yeah, 15 stars.
Advantage Cap Red is a pretty tricky star here. We'll also collect this intentional 1-up. Alright, nice roll out there to get down to the lower ground. Oh, those wall kicks are pretty cool. All right, now, if you remember the wing cap, okay, we're gonna try to ledge grab the switch and quit out. That works too.
Yeah, I'm
Nice.
surprised that worked too, but the only way you can quit out of the stage is if you stand still or grab a ledge, but I was able to stand still there and quit out of the stage, luckily, so I'm glad that worked.
Yeah, once the switch is pressed and you get text boxes and it's a short cutscene. That saves us some time.
Yep. All right, so DDD is a pretty hard part of the run. A lot of swimming, and then a lot of explosive movement towards the end.
And it's even more difficult than the regular 120 route because you also have to touch the chests. And that can be a little tricky. Oh, and the shark says hello.
Yeah, the shark did say hello. I missed one swim, and he said hello.
Now, luckily, you can miss a few more coins because there's a second line of 5, which we will get at the end, which you wouldn't get in a vanilla 120 star. But it is more difficult swimming, so it kind of balances out. He's going to get half these coin rings on the first pass as he's collecting the chests. Very nice. Oh, got a little bit behind the chest, but it's okay.
Yeah, totally fine.
You just don't want to touch the whirlpool.
Yeah. Okay, all you need is 36. There we go.
Nice.
Typically you need 41, but like Padrona said, you just get the 5 at the end towards the cage where collect the cap star is. And you're good to go.
And swimming to the second part of the stage, you can already see a bit of lag coming, despite Beeves' best intent to lag reduce. That makes his jet stream even more difficult.
Yeah,
Very
there's a way
nice.
to like reduce lag there a little bit more that involves like a crazier camera, but it's very difficult. So I just opt to just eat the lag and just be consistent as I can.
Yeah, you also have to swim through the 5 rings. Not very creative on Nintendo's part, but it also just makes the star a bit more annoying because you have to be a bit more particular about your approach to the star. You can't kind of swim in from the side. All right, on the sub now. Oh, the triple jump! He's nuts! I wasn't sure if you'd go for that. Collecting the board Bowser's sub. Nice job. And then one more very hard piece of movement here. Oh, the instant turn into the triple jump dive. Give it up for Beeve. That was phenomenal. You don't even see that from a lot of high-level 120 runners.
Excellent.
Okay, we grab that star, grab the vanish cap. Whoops.
Ooh.
Or missed
It's
the
going to go in the
vanish
water.
cap. There we go. All right, and then we grab this row of 5 in the end. And then for some reason, 100 coins don't get rid of your cap. So we grab the star while having vanish cap, and then we go and grab the star over here. And once you're in here, you can't exit. So all you have to do is exit the stage. So we leave that one for last for a reason.
It didn't cross my mind until now that the 100 coin star doesn't remove your vanish cap, which is critically important to be able to get in the cage after.
Yeah, it just works so well that like that 100 coin star doesn't get rid of your vanish cap. So it works super well throughout.
And the last star here is the Lonely Manta Ray, swimming through 5 more rings. And then we will intentionally swim into the whirlpool.
Yep. And once we go through the whirlpool, we'll head over to Fire Sea and do Fire Sea.
Whee!
Also, there's also a cycle-based star. If you make one mistake in this, you miss the cycle. And I already made my mistake. So I am already missing the cycle. That's how brutal this game is.
That's okay.
And now I don't know what to do because I'd never done that before.
This is...
Okay, that's fine. Just take the blood burn. Here we go.
Adaptive strats. You got this.
Yep, adapting.
And from here, the cycles are so far apart, they're about 18 seconds apart, so it really doesn't matter if you take a little bit more time to get back to where you need to be. So it's like once you made the first mistake, the rest of them didn't actually contribute any more time loss. Oh, unless you get bullied like completely. Oh, he's chasing you. You might want a long jump.
I'm just gonna play it safe.
Okay.
There we go. There,
That'll
it's
work.
like as if I made the cycle.
Oh yeah. You might get burned. Oh, you didn't get burned.
Ah, that's okay.
Oh well. I like that triple
That
jump.
kind of worked out, I guess.
Very adaptive. All right, but yeah, see, everyone learns to roll with the punches in this game, and he did a really good job there.
Yeah, wasn't too bad.
Main thing is to avoid deaths, not just because of time loss, but because of your life count. And actually, I think you picked up a life there that you might not have always picked up if you weren't going for it. So, costs no extra time to do that.
Yep.
And hits the throw.
Yep, so this Bowser throw, basically the same thing as the first one, except this Bowser kind of moves the stage, and if you miss the throw, he ends up moving the stage again, and it's a little annoying, and you lose a lot of time. But luckily I didn't miss the throw, and we're good. Now we're on our way to basement. We're going to be catching Nips the Rabbit, and then we're going to be doing SSL, Shifting Sandland, which we can actually do all in one go, which is really nice.
Yeah, I believe all the basement stages, I mean, with the exception of Metal Cap and HMC, you do in one go.
Do either of you have like a favorite level or zone?
My favorite level is probably Wet Dry World.
Okay.
Wet Dry World's a
really
very
cool
popular
movement.
pick.
Yeah.
I would honestly say that in a speedrun, SSL might be the most fun in 120, but it's also arguably the hardest.
Okay, that's fair.
So he's grabbing a few coins here, and he's going to also meet the bird at this pillar here. As you can see, its shadow starting to circle. Oh no, okay. Well, the bird's not going to fly away. You'll just have to wait for one more circle.
Yeah. There's a cool rollout you can do on that pillar and go into the bird, but I messed it up, which is okay.
Yeah.
Oops, I need those.
The SSL relies on getting a lot of enemy kills and coins around the outside of the pyramid and then heading in to do like the second half of the star. Here, it's a very nice style of using kind of the odd pillar mechanics in the way that it treats, you know, that vertical surface as kind of a floor for Mario to run on. And flying over here to the little oasis, red coin waits there. Pokey is kind of bad RNG here. Sometimes he's on the flat ground, but here he's on the slope ground, as you can see Mario's butt sliding. Gonna land on the pyramid here, grab that line of 5. If you're really fancy, you can try to fly through those, but it adds you a lot of risk. Alright, so far so good. Now Tox box here. It's on a set cycle, but because it's a fairly long segment here, you're not always sure if you make a couple mistakes, like where he'll be. You got to react on the fly, and Beeve reacted pretty well. And we'll grab this red coin star. This is the red coin star. One more pokey and a fly guy, and that'll be enough coins to enter the pyramid. A long jump through the sand and the pyramid, top of the pyramid star. Okay, grabbing this star up here. Then we're getting the secrets inside the pyramid on these 3 like floating staircases. Okay, were you meaning to long jump over or not?
No, because I grabbed the crazy box in the beginning, so you can avoid all those. So it's actually a small time save to do this route.
Ooh, very nice. So as you can see, the quicksand is really interfering with Mario's movement, and then there's an actual like death pit right at the bottom of that chute. So you have to kind of turn around to not just slide right in there, and that was really smoothly done. And we're going to be ending here. Oops.
Oh no!
No! I mean, it's not that bad. You just respawn in the pyramid. But
I'm trying to go over here. There we go. So typically you do in the run is something called topless. You do like a wall kick, and then if you angle it just right, you can actually get up on that hole without having the elevator to come down. But since we took the elevator going down, we can just hop into the basket / elevator, and we just jump right in. So it's pretty convenient. There's a lot of like staple tricks that you don't have to do on Nonstop 120, like owlless, pillarless, and like latitude bound. So you don't have to do any of that in this run, which is kind of the nice thing about it.
Yeah, it's very accessible to intermediate players. I mean, I would say like, because there's like because everything flows into one, it's hard if you're an absolute beginner, but if you kind of master just like the very basics, then you can learn Nonstop without having to do any really like hard one-off tricks. And it's more movement focused. It's kind of more like a Mario Odyssey or something like that.
So we actually grab that coins underneath the bridge there, get the eyeball coin, and then we wait for this puzzle to complete, and then grab this star.
Yeah, one thing
what's convenient about doing LOL here is you can grab 1-ups on the way, so you can like farm some lives a bit, which once again works super well on the route.
Yeah, one thing I wanted to say here, once he gets up, is that you also typically want to take a shell to ride on the lava safely, but that shell only spawns once you've collected stars 1 through 4. So for Nonstop, as you might see, we don't have it again, and we have to do this without that assistance. But there are pretty good ways to navigate. There's also bingos, which is kind of a fun way to play Mario 64 in a sort of a speedrunning way. And if you do LLL 100 in a bingo, you might be doing this similar route. But here, Beeve's going to be long jumping and getting over to the red hot log rolling area. That's a pretty tough part of the run. The camera, the burns, you have 2 HP, and now he has to get back into the main volcano without losing any more health.
Okay, we need 77 to enter the volcano. There we go. We're gonna climb all the way up. Movement's kind of cool looking if I can pull it off.
Yeah, there is some swag at the end because there's 2 stars in the volcano. One at the top. Ooh.
It's okay. I can make my way back up. You can keep going.
Yeah, one is at the top of this lava stream, and the other one is at the top of an elevator path. Well,
Trying to avoid that.
you know, if you do 2 single jumps, you will actually break out of the fire faster, and you'll only lose 2 health. Nice long jump there. That's the most difficult part, and that was super cool.
Yeah, that movement's sick. Yeah, that long jump's kind of precise. So luckily I was able to get it first try, but falling on the volcano was kind of unfortunate. So we take an intentional death here because getting to basement kind of takes a while. So taking the death is definitely the easiest way, or the fastest way to get back down here. And like I said earlier, now we have 54 stars. The minimum requirement to grab this MIPS is 50, so we can just grab it, go. And then we're gonna talk to this toad who's also holstering a star. Then we grab from him. Fun fact about Nonstop, if you grab the star while holding an object or MIPS, the game actually crashes, doesn't know what to do. So, fun fact about that, but I won't be doing that here, obviously.
This is just for the non-stop code, not the vanilla game.
Correct, yeah. Oops.
You can still make it.
Nah,
Just
I ledge grabbed already, so you have to wait for it. I was trying to do something there called a punch cancel. It conserves like Mario's momentum a little bit, so I don't run in place. So I can make the cycle faster, but I was not precise enough. So I have to ride the carpet, which is okay. Still got that coin, which is good.
Yeah, that's the meat and potatoes of HMC 100 right there.
Okay. We don't grab that eyeball. We just bypass them and move on. I'd also say like HMC is probably one of my favorite stages as well. Definitely like a close second. All the movement in this is like super fun to do.
I would agree. Yeah, definitely one of my favorites.
Grab the 2 coins from the Snuffit here. And then I'm going to be doing a, I'm actually going to be doing a BLJ, but the BLJ is going to be going into the star as I clip through the wall, and it's very precise, very hard. So I'm going to see if I can get it here. Would be sick if I got it.
I like it. Oh my god, that was so close.
Yeah, that was close.
I
That's
was
a
so
very,
ready to
very
pop
precise
off.
trick.
Yeah, the more difficult thing, I mean, we say so many things are precise, but that one, there's really no like guaranteed, way to get it. You just kind of gotta know your angle and get it just right. And it's also dependent on the amount of speed you can gather from the BLJs here. As you can see, this is kind of the more conventional way to get through, but that one, you just go into the corner and after a while you punch through, but getting that star on the way is very difficult. Nice movement there to grab the watch for rolling rock star. Now we have 93 coins. We will collect the last 8 coins in the middle of the cavern. That's a pretty difficult wall pick, actually. And here, what the heck? Where did we just go? You went down to 1 health there. I didn't even realize it was cutting it
that was very close. So that was the Christmas Miracle Star that you're supposed to use with Metal Cap, but you can bypass it by hitting it from the top there. But that trick I just did there is a 120 exclusive trick called Salt Bog, discovered by Salt and Ginger. But you're supposed to aim yourself into like the hallway that's kind of like near that area. And what I do at Nonstop is I try to like bypass the elevator and then hit the switch instead, because we have to go back down there to clean up the rest of HMC. So it kind of works out in the route really well in Nonstop 120.
Yeah, I mean, if you got the Toxic Maze BLJ, that would have been even more perfect, but overall, like a really good demonstration of the HMC route and strat potential for Nonstop 120 here. And a lot of variety that, yeah, people have come up with. So there's Metal Cap. We don't hit the switch. We just want to get the star. And then we will head on over to Big Boo's Haunt, the last stage before we head upstairs. We're right about halfway.
Yep, about the halfway mark, and we're like, what, 40-ish minutes in or so?
Now, Big Boo's Haunt, you might want to talk about this. It had a very significant overhaul recently for the Nonstop routing.
Yeah, so typically,
that's a Beef exclusive right there.
The Ghost Hunt on its own, and then we did Merry-Go-Round combined with 100 coin, but it's actually faster to combine it with the Ghost Hunt. So we actually found that it was like, I think, roughly 10 seconds faster to do this route instead over the other. So
I just want to point out that wall kick rollout on the bookcase was super swaggy.
Thank you. Grab those. So it's kind of looking like vanilla 120 movement in a way. But it's going to change right after this room. We're actually going to do a long jump over here to this door. And then we're actually going to do some manipulation here. Hopefully it'll work. So if I do this, hopefully the boo goes in the right spot, and he does.
Nice.
But typically he's like on the edge there, and it's like very scary. So if I fall off here, I fall like right to the bottom, and it's like a huge time loss. So you definitely don't want to fall there. Okay, so there's the 5th boo, and now we can activate the big boo, take him out. There he is. Okay, and that star spawns up there. We're gonna grab the red coin star. And we're gonna grab this star. Oops. The depth perception is weird here because the camera's definitely strange. Then we grab the vanish cap, and then we grab these 5 blue coins here. Okay. And then we go and do eye to eye in the secret room. There's a giant eyeball here. We just swing around it. Bam. Oops.
Where'd he
Looks
go?
like Mario's invisible, but I'm getting like iframes. That was kind of funny looking.
All part of the atmosphere.
Yeah, exactly. Just a bunch of eyeballs and ghosts. Nintendo really wanted to freak you out. Then we take this guy out, and then we grab his star, and then we jump all the way to the bottom and grab the 10 coin box.
Now, this is something you would never see in vanilla 120. We're just going right over the roof. And perfect bullseye ground pound on that box. But
missed the ground pound, but that's okay. All right, so we gotta visit BBH one more time because we have to re-enter for Merry-Go-Round, where everyone's favorite song will play. I'm actually doing like, I forgot to mention, this camera I do here, it's actually a lag reduction, so it saves like a few seconds or so.
well,
A little optimization.
not seconds, but frames.
Frames? Maybe it's a second or so.
I guess if you do it 5 times in 120. Or
Yeah.
6.
I've never really timed it. I just know it's the fastest way to get to that door.
All right. The last big boo of Big Boo's Haunt.
Missed him twice, but that's okay.
Yeah.
We're done with BBH, and now we're on our way to upstairs, where we do Wet Dry World, PHI, TTM, and then SL. But there's going to be a little bit of a weird thing that's going to happen with TTM, but we'll explain it when we get there.
And just for those unfamiliar with the acronyms, this is Wet Dry World, Tiny Huge Island, Tall Tall Mountain, and Snowman's Land.
Yeah. Just so used to saying the acronyms.
Yeah. right, beginning with the 100 coin star. Well, I mean blue coins, but we are doing the 100 coin star for this.
Missing that ground pound actually kind of cost me a bit because normally you want to take fire damage here and fall. It actually doesn't, you don't take like fall damage if that happens. And it's actually kind of fast, but I missed the ground pound, so I had to just jump down.
All right, nice.
Got amped.
Unfortunate RNG. Nothing you can do to know where the amp is going to be. Starts in a random position.
Oh my god.
Oh! You saw that Mario actually looked to be below the surface there. That was kind of just a very charitable collision detection by the game there to put him on top of the polygon.
So here's something really cool. I'm going to activate this elevator, grab the star, and I'm going to try and beat the elevator before it goes up.
Yeah, this is hard. Nice.
Not done yet. Ah.
Yeah, you can
Okay,
BLJ
so I'm gonna do a
out of
BLJ
there.
here. I'm going to wall kick off there and then jump to the other side.
Love it.
Yeah, that movement's super cool.
Yeah, the ability to continue after collecting a star just opens up all sorts of new windows for crazy movement possibilities.
Grab this crystal and then grab the rest of the red coins and a few extra coins along the way. What's nice about this route is that we have like a lot of coins. We can actually avoid those coins at the bottom there. We can just bypass them and move on.
Yeah, in fact, Wedge World is one of the stages with the most coins. The lowest being Jolly Roger Bay at 104, the highest being Tiny Huge Island at 191. Wedge World is, I think, 142. But there's a other category extension. The Nonstop is a category extension because it's not one of the main leaderboard ones, but one is also called All Coins, where you literally try to collect every coin in the main stages that are recorded on your score sheet. Very difficult category as well. Not for the faint of heart either. But that was a good Wedge World.
Thank you. Yeah, All Coins is pretty notorious for like resetting to LL over and over again because when you destroy the bullies and throw them into the lava, their coins just fly out and they can land in the lava and you can just lose your run that way. So typically see people do LBLJ, Dark World, and then they do LL right after.
So here's Tiny Huge Island. And we were talking about this before, but there's some significant changes to this stage that have also happened. And Tax actually has come out to save about 40 seconds of what people used to do in previous years. So the game doesn't have a super long history. The first Nonstop run was in 2014, which I guess is, at this point, 9 years ago, by Sigo2. Then kind of the world record history moved on to people such as... this is so cool. I gotta talk about that. Sliding down the mountain, killing the piranhas. And we'll collect another star here. Yeah, but all my point is to say that there's still discoveries to be made in Nonstop. It's not a solved category. And people are coming up with it a lot of the time. The current world record holder, Solerica B, has been posting a lot of the more, the most optimized routes and the most recent strats.
Yep.
And kind of pushing the category farther along.
Yeah, she's definitely like pushed this category like very, very far. She's definitely like the GOAT of Nonstop 120. All right, so here we're gonna be doing PHI 100 plus Koopa. You kind of see like top runners do this route. I think the one that comes to mind the most is Cheese 05. He's the one who does this route kind of in the vanilla strat or the vanilla route. But here in Nonstop, this is where the fastest route is. So this is what you're typically gonna see if you see Nonstop 120.
And the cave here is one of the most dangerous parts in a 120 star run because you're doing this at the end of an 100 coin star, which means if you die, you're going to lose in about 2 minutes. Very hard to come back from that at any sort of a high level. And in Nonstop 120 is still punishing, but you actually have to go back out of the cave. They make you, yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely awkward.
Do it twice. Whereas in 120, you end in the
do that in
cave.
any category extension is go out the cave like that. All right, so here we're racing the Koopa and collecting a few Goombas along the way. He's not too bad to beat as long as I don't make like any big blunders.
Yeah. Also, I believe in the vanilla 120 route, there's an extra Goomba that you have to kill because you don't have, or because you want to finish the 100 coin star by the end of the Koopa race. So at least here we have a little bit more wiggle room. These Goombas, though, can be tricky. They are RNG, their coins are RNG. And that can also be tricky as well, getting on that very thin wooden plank to collect that line of 5. But that was all handled with poise. And we got about... Well, we're going to have to get a couple more coins before heading into the Wiggler Mountain to finish this one off. Picking up the slope. Yeah.
Normally you want to triple jump up there, but I got a little scared, so I opted not to do the crazy strat. So. Okay, then we do a clip here, and then we can just swim through the water and just enter the loading zone, so you don't have to drain the water. And then we fight the Wiggler. So the Wiggler actually has 10 coins here. So while we fight the Wiggler, we'll just grab the rest of them like that. The other one's over here. Now, there's something you can do here that you don't do in any other category, is do a double star spawn. So let's see if I can get it here. That'd be kind of hype if I get it.
Okay.
It's frame perfect. No, I didn't get it.
That was a good try.
Yeah, that was a few frames off. Essentially, you want to do it on frame like 4 or 5 after the star spawns or something like that. Not exactly the...
Well, I mean, for red coins, the red coin star spawns 4 frames after you collect the red coin, but for the Wiggler, it's just kind of the frame that he spawns the star needs to be the frame that you collect the yellow coin for the 100 coin star.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think you're right about that.
The only place that you might see this in a vanilla 120 star run is in BOB, where you're running on the poles, and you can kind of get the yellow coins to land right next to a red coin and do the double star spawn. Still maybe something you can only even go for like 20% of the time, and then get like 20% of those times. So very rare occurrence, but it's kind of like once in a blue moon. Yeah. All right. So Tall Mountain here. Navigating the scary shrooms. And this red coin maze. Oh, that was an unfortunate bonk there. There's also quite a bit of lag.
Yeah, unfortunate bonk, but you know, we adapt, we overcome. Good to go.
Okay. Nice. And we've
Down here.
managed to grab a couple stars and enter the secret slide with 39 coins.
Yeah. Here I'm doing something called C-up slide. It basically moves Mario a lot faster on a slope if you do C-up while moving. So you just save like a second or so by doing that. So we actually have to re-enter TTM a second time. Do you want to explain why that is, Bigronus?
Yeah, there is a monkey at the top of the mountain where the star we collected before was, but he will open up a cage containing a star for you if you select star 2 or above. And that's pretty much why we have to go in. A lot of stars in Mario 64 are kind of like duplicates with it's like 80% the same and then like a 20% different ending, you know, to get players to kind of go through the stages in the same ways. But the non-sub category, you know, usually doesn't require that, but in this case, you have to because it hasn't spawned. So we'll be back in for the monkey, and then I believe Waterfall, you didn't get that one.
Yeah, we do waterfall afterwards, but we have to break the TTM entry with another stage because when you die and you enter slide, the game puts you back on the slide, thinking that you died on the slide. So the only way to do that is to go into a different stage. And we actually end up going to TTM after we do SSL for a second time. That's the reason why I'm doing this stage over during that transition.
Very nice slide there. And this is kind of an alternate 100 coin route. Beeve has said he came up with the entire route of this stage for Nonstop.
Yep. There's a few different routes you can do, but this is the one that I kind of came up with on my own. It doesn't really lose you time, doesn't really save you time. But this is the one I'm just most comfortable with. What's really cool about Nonstop is that you can come up with like a ton of like your own routing. Like Padrona said earlier, this game's like very fresh. This category is fresh, and there's like a lot of like different movement tech you can learn and do. I definitely think like the potential for Nonstop 120 is just like barely been tapped.
For sure. The only thing I've been involved with routing is like SSL, but I found like a few things in that stage which I hadn't seen before, but were like just so cool and fun to do. It just like makes you want to run the category so that you can do like all these super cool things that you couldn't do in the regular game. Or I mean, you could just do for a free run, but they wouldn't actually be useful. But now it's like it's actually useful and it's eye-opening.
So
here
I'm
we go.
assuming that if anyone wanted to attempt Nonstop themselves, that information would be like available to them in the SM64 Discord?
Yes, I would say there's actually a separate Discord for category extensions. It's not as heavily it's not quite as active, but it's fairly active. It's still Mario 64 after all. But there's also guides on the speedrun.com page, and I believe there's like a very old Google document, but I'm actually not sure. Beeve, do you know what like the best way to learn it in the present day is?
I would say like just go to speedrun.com, go to the category extensions, and go to Nonstop 120 and just watch like the runs basically. There's not really like a really good way of learning it, but I know that Soul, the world record holder for Nonstop 120, has a bunch of like different routes and tutorials that she posted on YouTube that you can probably look up. So there's a few resources there you can look into as well.
Well, if you do go to it, it's speedrun.com/SM64CE, that stands for category extensions. And if you go to the guides tab, there is actually Nonstop tutorials. So I stand corrected. So check those out. And then also on leaderboard, there's new SRC update, which looks pretty nice to be honest. But it defaults to 16 star, no LBLJ. You can click that drop down, select Nonstop, 120 star, 70 star, and 16 star. Pick out the leaderboards. And
Thanks for clarifying that. Yeah,
thank you for mentioning it. So there, I just did a trick called monkey glitch. If you grab the monkey while on a slope and then you choose the freedom option, you can actually just like carry him to the towards like that part of the area where he kind of just tells you like hee. I think that's literally the text box, and then he frees the star. So you can like make him go there a lot faster if you just grab him, put him over there, rather than waiting for him to walk around, because that loses time. So
yeah. All right, so we're heading up into Tippy, getting toward the tail end of the run. We have 2 more main stages and a couple more Castle Secret stars, one of them being Wing Mario Over the Rainbow. Since these ones are just one-off stars, they are mostly the same. Oh, we're trying to fly through that red coin. But I guess you might as well go do slide or something.
yeah, that's actually not a bad call. So you don't want to die there, because you just end up here. So that's like almost the worst thing you can do. But actually, from what Padrona said, that's kind of not the worst thing, because you can do aquarium and slide here. So it's actually a good idea.
Thank you.
Think of that. All right, so before we do cloud, we're gonna do some slide.
And then there are 2 stars on the slide, one for just getting to the end and one for completing it under 21 seconds. Speedrunners, it's going to take us about 12. So we'll get both in one go.
What's your guess,
Mario.
Padronis?
12-8.
Mario wanted to have some fun.
That's a 12-8 if I ever saw one. No, okay.
12-7.
Ooh,
Nice.
so close.
Star, it's okay.
Woo! I actually came up with a thing where you can like roll out then backward momentum jump into the box.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do, but I missed it.
I mean, I didn't come up with that. Well, I did, but did not. And then here's Aquarium. You can see why we don't bother doing this in the early game where you might have more resets and difficult stages. This is kind of a nice little relaxing detour toward the end.
Yep. We still gotta do cloud stage. So normally you want to quit out of cloud stage when you complete it, but since we died doing it, we're gonna have to like go back up to Tippy an extra time. So that's gonna cost us a bit of time on castle movement. Alrighty.
Yeah, also,
now lobby is 100% done.
Yep. All right, this is it. And Tippy, these last few stages, well, more so TTC and Rainbow Ride more than Cloud, but we have some really cool stuff left in store here to top this run off. Flying through the red coin, pretty difficult. Flying is quite responsive in this game, but almost like too responsive. It's like you start holding a direction and all of a sudden like he's halfway across the room and it's like, wow, how did that happen? And then it takes a lot of time to gain the subtlety and kind of finesse on the control stick to go actually through a red coin without touching the cloud like that. So that's, why you unfortunately fell out the first time, but it's quite a common mistake.
Yeah, you like adjust your control stick in one tiny direction and you just start flying in one direction.
Nice roll out there with a precisely aimed cannon shot. We're going to see if he can grab the red coin without touching the vine. So it was a little bit too low. Mario's wing cap hitbox is actually a bit taller than his model. For whatever reason, it's not even accurate, but it goes like pretty high into the air. The developers, I guess, wanted it to be pretty lenient. But there's also a pole, which, as you saw when he got the red coin star for real, he grabbed the pole. But if you're just at the bottom of the red coin, you won't grab the pole, and then you can fly straight into the star without falling on the cloud beneath. So that was just one way you can save a little bit of time. But now, we're going into Rainbow Ride. We got some high-flying carpet rides and stuff to go around. Starting off with... Oh, actually, we're going... Yeah, for the coins up here. I forgot.
Yep.
Going into the red coin maze. A nice movement here to pick it apart and spawn the star. Then we're going to grab that blue coin switch. Most important wall kicks in the game. Doesn't have to be fast, but you can't miss it.
Yep.
You have 5
Can't miss
frames
a single
to
wall
perform
kick,
a
or
wall
else
kick.
you just don't get any of those coins.
Alright, now we got a pretty tricky loopy long jump here to get back to that kind of transparent block. I don't even know, I guess it's glass.
I don't know. I always thought of them as just like tangible objects that you can't pass through.
Yeah.
Or like some kind of force field.
It's like a prism. Oh, it's a prism. I just realized. I think it's a prism
Yeah.
because of the rainbows.
rainbows, yeah, because of the rainbows.
So yeah, not much we can do here. This is actually literally like the first break I get in the whole run is just chilling on the carpet.
Oh my
there's
gosh.
not really like a big tip you can do to skip this. I mean there is, but we obviously won't get into it here.
Yeah.
So how
That's
have you
like-
been feeling about the run then, Beeves?
Honestly, this run has been like really good.
Yeah, you're approaching the end soon, and you're crushing it on time.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's really impressive to see that. At least, you know, all like the really big stuff, you know, I think was done almost first try for all of it.
Yeah, almost. BRB, I had a few hiccups, and Fire C was not the greatest either.
But like the exclusive stuff, like the VOB flying, the SSL, the HMC Salt Dog.
This has been a really cool category to watch, just, you know, because you get to see like what Mario does when he doesn't exit the level, and that's just cool.
Yeah, it's a super fresh way to play the game, and I think, you know, it's gonna pick up a little bit as more and more people give it a try and find enjoyment out of it. It is also a hard grind though, because if you're going for PB attempts, as Beef said, you don't really get much of a break. So it is. I've done some runs of it, not that many, not nearly as many as Beef. It's difficult, but it's a good challenge, and it's very rewarding for the kind of discovery that's. I mean, okay, I'm really sounding like a broken record here, but there's a lot of discoveries left to be made, and that part of it, if that excites you, then this is a great category in a game that's as iconic as Mario 64, but it's not quite as figured out as the vanilla game.
Yeah, there's still a lot of doors to be opened for this category. A friendlier Nonstop category you can do is called Nonstop 70 Star. I think that's a little bit easier than this one. I think that's like a very good run to like kind of get into. You can kind of collect 70 stars and then beat the game in under like an hour, I think, if you're like kind of well versed with Mario a bit.
Yeah, record's like 27 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, for like people picking it up for the first time, like I could see them doing it in like under an hour. So it's really
cool. I would say, yeah, that is actually a very good shout for a beginner-friendly category. Like if you know, a lot of people get into 16 star. I think, you know, it's still one of the categories on SRC with the most unique submissions. But beyond that, like Nonstop 70, probably the best beginner category.
Yep.
Now, did you start with that category yourself, Beef?
No, I started with the vanilla categories like everyone else.
Right on.
Yeah, but there are some slightly different moves in that one because you don't have to get all the 100 coins. It ends up being like a really fast category at a high level and fun to watch. But Nonstop 120, also just with the insane variety that comes with having to do all 120 stars, you know, they each have their own flavor. Now here, I'm having a little bit of trouble getting these coins and getting up the clock, but it is still going mostly according to plan here. You know, you wouldn't wish this, but if you end up dying from the top, it's kind of funny to see how far you fall.
Yeah, you do not want to fall during PTC. I got bad womp RNG there, so I'm just gonna take the hit there and keep going. So after grabbing that, we actually make our way all the way back down. Oops.
Yeah,
that was unfortunate. I actually hit something called an invis-wall. It's literally what the name suggests. Oops, I better be careful so I don't die.
Yeah, hit on the blue switch. Oh, the wall kick ground pound. Very sneaky there, but the wall kick actually turned Mario around so he would face toward the blue coins after hitting the switch. And now we're going back down, grabbing the last three, which it's just kind of funny to see like all the stuff that you don't have to do in Nonstop 120 in this case. Well, that's kind of sucks, but it's not too bad. Actually, it is kind of bad. No, wait, you already got. Never mind. What am I talking about?
No,
that was intentional. I thought you didn't get the red coin star yet, but I was.
No, you get that right in the beginning.
Yeah.
All right. Oops. So this is the final and basically kind of vanilla movement. So everything else is kind of self-explanatory.
Well, I still think it's freaking cool. One of the most fun stars to practice. I think a lot of people would say. but in my opinion, I've spent a lot of hours enjoying playing this stage. A lot of cycles, little speed kick over the gap there. Some dust, a little slowing down a little bit. This flame skip is kind of the swaggy part, although he missed it, that's okay.
Yep. Bit of a butt burn there, but that's okay. Keep going.
All right, nice. You have to kind of reduce your speed to triple jump off that slope and get that height. Triple jump, very nice.
Let me just grab this red coin here.
Okay.
Grab the final star and then throw Bowser into the bomb. That's it. Then the run ends after I grab the final star. So get ready with that timer.
Sure, good luck.
Thank you. There's one. Two. And there's three. Nice. Good finish.
Yeah, hats off for this run. There were a lot of things that, he did that might not have looked as hard as they were, but it's a really, really impressive run here today. And yeah, thanks for letting Beeb do this.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. No, thank you so much for having me on here. I really appreciate it.
Beeb, you killed that. Oh my gosh, it was so stylish to see the Nonstop 120 star. Like, I didn't know exactly what to expect, and I loved it. Thank you so much for being on the show today. Do you have any shout outs, comments you'd like to mention before we wrap it up tonight?
Yeah, I got a few shout outs.
Sure.
So shout out to Soul Erica B, world record holder for Nonstop 120. She's definitely pushing the category, is like super far. Definitely consider her one of the goats in Nonstop. She's trying to push for a 103 right now. The record right now is a 104, so she's trying to break that minute barrier to the 103 until like new strats are discovered. But I think 103 is like penultimate goal. I also want to give a shout out to Chip Groove, who has the console world record for Nonstop 120. Chip Groove also kind of pushed this category pretty far when he was grinding it for a few months. He's also a really good friend of mine, so shout out to Chip Groove. And I also want to shout out the SM64 community for being like a very like welcoming community and like very nice people to hang around with and meet. I met like a lot of my friends the past years just through Mario 64, and like I love the community we have here. So if you also want to get into Nonstop 120, I know Badrona's mentioned it, but there's a category extensions Discord that you can join that has all of, like the resources you can learn Nonstop, and like a plethora of other category extensions. Like Badrona's mentioned, all coins, you got all question mark boxes, you got all enemies, you got all bosses. There's a lot of category extensions. You got all signs. So you see that sign in the background there? Just read that, and that's part of the speed run. So pretty wacky. It's really cool. I actually think that category is really sick. But all the category extensions is just like a lot of runners just have fun with the game. And this is like one of the best games ever, in my opinion. It's fun to watch. It's fun to play. And yeah, basically it. And I guess that's all I have to say.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Beeb. Thank you so much, Badronas, for being here. If those of you watching enjoyed that run, make sure you follow the runner, twitch.tv/itsbeeb, as well as our commentator, twitch.tv/Badronas. Again, I thank you both so much for being here. But yeah, if you're watching this on YouTube from the future, be sure to press the like button on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and you can check us out, twitch.tv/gamesdonequick, if you're interested in watching our shows live. live. You can tune in tomorrow for an extended episode of Mercy Kill starting at 7 p.m. Eastern. Passion Project will return in 2 weeks from tomorrow at its normal time at 10 p.m. Eastern. But that is going to wrap up Time Capsule for tonight. Thank you all again so much for watching. Have a beautiful day or night, and we will see you next time. Goodbye.